Hello, I'm Michael Brook, and welcome to the latest instalment of the Watermans ongoing Polish film series, in which a big screen showing of a recent Polish film will be followed by an online discussion. Now, there's a small but growing biopic subgenre devoted to major European political figures of the late 20th century. In Britain, we've had the Oscar-winning duo of The Iron Lady about Margaret Thatcher and The Queen, which was at least as much about Tony Blair. In France, there's the witty, suggestive The Last Mitterrand about François Mitterrand, and in Italy there's the extraordinary Il Divo about Giulio Andreotti. More recently, the Czechs have produced the self-explanatory Havel. The Poles seem to be especially keen on biopics this side of the millennium switchover, and we've already had Andrzej Wajda's Wałęsa Man of Hope in 2013. This only briefly mentions Edward Gierek, who was Poland's leader throughout the 1970s, and when it does so, it's usually in the context of him being a monolithic, uncaring power grabber who betrayed the working classes, one of many senior communists who was completely out of touch with Polish people and who was directly responsible for crisis after crisis. This culminated, of course, in the great wave of strikes over the summer of 1980, the rise of the Solidarity trade union, and ultimately the imposition of martial law. Now, Michał Węgrzyn's new film Gierek sets to set the record straight, portraying Gierek as a man who, far from betraying the working classes, very much saw himself as one of them, even to the point of working as a coal miner as a young man. The film emphasises that he personally encouraged a huge expansion of industrialisation with the aim of making a still war-damaged Poland competitive not only with its immediate neighbours but also with the West. And he financed all this by borrowing money from foreign sources who are only too happy to get a slice of the Polish pie. And then, well, here's the trailer.
Gomułka kazał strzelać do ludzi. Oni mu tego nie wybaczą. Idziesz na pierwszego.
I co, myślisz, że ruszymy tym krajem?
Filip, ja nie myślę. Jestem przekonany, że zmienimy ten kraj. Każda inwestycja to światełko na tej mapie. Wszystko, co wybudujemy.
A ja myślę, że jednak pan się zapomina. Rozmawia pan z ambasadorem Sowieckiego Sojuszu.
Ale zanim te dokumenty trafią do rąk pierwszego sekretarza, chciałbym znać ich treść.
Jest napisane, że wyłącznie do rąk pierwszego sekretarza.
Ambasador radziecki domaga się przeprosin za ten gest.
Mam to gdzieś.
Potrafi gadać z ludźmi.
Ludzi trzeba za mordę trzymać, a nie z nimi gadać. Jeszcze im się wolność przyśni.
To jak? Pomożecie? Myślę, co ludzie o mnie mówią.
Kochają cię.
Chciałem dobrze.
Chcesz dobrze, ludzie to widzą.
Zginęło paru naszych kumpli.
I za wszystko chciałem was tutaj przeprosić.
Jesteśmy pierwszym krajem na świecie, który dokonał fuzji jądrowej bez atomowego wybuchu. To jest światowy rekord.
Co z tym możemy zrobić?
Bombę neutronową.
Oszalałeś.
To może dać nam wolność.
To jest samobójstwo, ja tego nie zrobię.
Na razie ludzie mają go znienawidzić, mają się z niego śmiać.
Dokonamy pacyfikacji.
Zabraniam użycia siły wobec robotników.
Przejmujemy kontrolę.
Walcz, synu, walcz. Musisz być silny.
Eciu, ja cię nie zostawię samego! Nie zostawię cię tu samego!
Jesteś jedyną osobą, której mogę zaufać.
Wojna. Już myślałem, że się nie doczekam.
Gówno zrobisz bez narodu.
Za kilkanaście, kilkadziesiąt lat nie będzie tego narodu.
Now, the film's thesis, which has been somewhat controversial in Poland, is that Gierek was a fundamentally good man who was genuinely trying to push Poland into the late 20th century, but who was ultimately brought down partly by economic misjudgments, but mostly by a cabal of Machiavellian plotters working behind the scenes, sometimes with the encouragement of their counterparts in the Soviet Union. Unsurprisingly, the Soviets weren't at all happy about Gierek's increasing independent-mindedness and were especially suspicious about his growing links with France, the United States and other Western democracies. Interestingly, although they're now all dead, the film doesn't use these people's real names, and one of the key figures, a man known only as Maślak in the film, is an amalgam of several people, including Gierek's successor Stanisław Kania. Although it's pretty clear who the man identified as General Rostotsky is meant to be, as a visual resemblance to General Wojciech Jaruzelski, the man responsible for imposing martial law in 1981, is clearly intentional. Gierek will be showing at the Watermans on Tuesday, February the 22nd at 7 p.m, and the following evening, Wednesday the 23rd, I'll be hosting the usual online discussion at 8 p.m, and I look forward to seeing you there.